This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Eventually, he hooks up with George the Animal Steel, who tells him to contact Vern, and Vern sets him up with Eddie Sharkey, who trains alongside Scott Nord, who we know as the Berserker or Nord the Barbarian, and a few other guys. And as we said, eventually Brad takes over the camp, and they're learning how to take bumps. And I guess the rumor and innuendo goes, if Brad didn't like somebody who was in the camp, he would just pair him off with Rick Steiner. And Rick would make sure they wanted to quit camp very quickly.
Yeah, that's old school as hell, man.
Yeah,
you run them off. We're gonna find out how much you want it, kid. Yeah. So, and I would rather fight any of them. But if I had to pick one that was going to hurt less, I would probably pick Nord. Steiner's just a machine,
right? And
he had that great amateur background. Nord was not an amateur wrestler, I don't think. Great body, big frame, had everything the promoters were looking for. He worked in the Mid-South. That's where I got to know John. So I told that story about the fist fight he had with Butch Reed in the locker room at Oklahoma City. They beat the shit out of each other, literally, figuratively. And I don't think there was any stains, but it was physical. Then Cowboy made them, when they got to Oklahoma City later that day to do television, their faces are all puffy and blackened eyes are peering and so forth. And Cowboy made them fight again to get it out of their system, quote unquote. And both their fists were hurting, their hands were hurting, their faces were swollen. It was terrible. But the good news is they got it out of their system, and they did not fight the second go around. They were done. And that's all he wanted to make sure was, I don't want any issues here. I don't want any bullshit in the locker room. We're not going to have it. And I'm not going to be a party to it, blah, blah, blah. And both those guys knew the Cowboy was serious. We're just not going to do that. So, and even though Watson enjoyed a great fight in the competition, he also knew that these two big bastards beating each other up was a good way to get medical time off, and he wasn't interested in that whatsoever. So it was John was an interesting character, to say the least. Looked great, but Steiner was a machine, no doubt about it.
Well, after his training, he works a few matches in the AWA against Brad Ringens, and then Tom Zink and himself go to work for Dino Bravo's promotion in Montreal. He winds up there for about 6 months, and then eventually has a brief stop at the AWA.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.